Hey everybody, my name is Parrot, and today I'm going to be spoiling every Goosebumps book from the original series, all 62. Sorry about that. That was weird. Anyway, before I continue, there's obviously going to be spoilers. That was a tragic voice crack. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. Starting off, we got Welcome to Dead House. So, the Bensons' inheritance in that story is a scam so the undead can drink their blood, and their dog gets infected. Number 2, stay out of the basement. Their dad is not really their dad. It's a half-man, half-plant imposter, and the real Dr. Brewer is tied up in the basement. In number 3, we got Monster Blood. Aunt Catherine's cat is a witch named Sarabeth who cursed the monster blood to continue to grow and grow and grow. And number 4, we got Say Cheese and Die. The camera is cursed so that if you take a picture of somebody, it will show a bad fate happening to them. Also, the creepy old guy they stole it from is the creator. In number 5, we got Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. Ahmed is evil and tries to mummify the kids for his devious plot. No, I didn't click on the stock. Anyway. Number 6, we have Let's Get Invisible. The evil mirror makes you invisible, and the longer you stay invisible, the least likely you're going to come back, and the more likely your mirror doppelganger is going to take over. In number 7, we got Night of the Living Dummy. A family finds two wooden dummies that come alive. And at number 8, we got The Girl Who Cried Monster. Mr. Mortman and Lucy and her family are all monsters. Number 9, we got Welcome to Camp Nightmare. The whole camp is a training facility, and they are all aliens preparing Billy to go to Earth. And at number 10, we got The Ghost Next Door. Hannah is a ghost being haunted by a shadow figure that wants to possess her friend Danny by killing him. Number 11, we got The Haunted Mask. The shopkeeper is the creator of the evil masks that attach themselves to the faces of people who wear them. And in the end, Carly Beth's annoying brother, Mother Noah, puts on the mask. And at number 12, we got Be Careful What You Wish For. You should be careful what you wish for. And the main character, Sam, gets turned into a bird. And at number 13, we have Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. Dr. Shriek is not actually a pedophile, but is a robot created by Mr. Toggle, who cuts off little kid parts for his piano playing machines, and the ghosts of those children go and kill him. And number 14, we have The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Alright. Will Blake, Grady's friend, is actually the werewolf and the swamp hermit and the dog Vandal. And side note, I know the dog's real name isn't really Vandal. That was stolen from the TV show. But I choose the TV show name more because that's cuter, and just naming the dog Wolf is a bad name. It's like naming a dog Barky. Yeah, no wonder Mr. Wood strangled the dog. Anyway. And in the end, Grady turns into a werewolf. Number 15, we got You Can't Scare Me. The mud monsters are real, and Courtney really cannot be scared. Number 16, we got One Day at Horrorland. Anyway, in that story, Lizzie and Luke and her family go to an amusement park called Horrorland with way too scary rides, and it turns out they're in a TV show on the Monster Channel, and when they get home, they're followed by a horror giving them free tickets for next year. And at number 17, we get Why I'm Afraid of Bees. Gary gets swapped with a bee who ends up controlling a group of killer bees. And at the end, he gets returned to his body, but with slight bee-like behaviors. Anyway, in book 18, we got Monster Blood 2. Andy revisits learning nothing from the first book and poisons the hamster with the monster blood, making it grow to 15 feet tall. Evan eats some monster blood to try and fight it off, but they end up shrinking before Cuddles can bite Evan's head off, and it's because of an expiration date. 8. And at number 19, we got Deep Trouble. The mermaids are real, and they attempt to capture the mermaid but fail, and it ends with Billy getting attacked by a octopus monster. And at number 20, the farmhand Stanley brings to life the tall, creepy scarecrows, and it ends with the stuffed bear coming to life. Yeah. Number 21, Todd is obsessed with worms, and a giant worm and its babies take revenge on Todd and torment the fuck out of him. And the giant worm lives under the school, and when Todd shifts his focus to butterflies, a giant butterfly attacks him. And at number 22, basically every person in the book, except for the beach hermit, aka Harrison, and his dog, and the two main characters, are ghosts. And then number 23, we got Return of the Mummy. A quote-unquote reporter named Neela Ramad is actually a 2,000-year-old sister to one of the mummies of Prince Koru, and saying the words Kri, I think, saying it 5 times, brings it to life. And Neela brings it to life and turns into a scarab and bites Gabe while he's sleeping, basically killing him. And at number 24, the actor playing Zeke was not actually Zeke, it was a ghost pretending to be Zeke in their play of The Phantom of the Opera. And then number 25, Libby was actually the masked mutant, which was actually the Molecule Man, and Skipper, the main character, is actually a superhero. And number 26, My Hairiest Adventure. I'm sorry, I forgot to say the names. So basically, Larry, this dumbass running from dogs, is actually a dog turning back into a human by some weird scientist guy named Dr. Merkin. Yes, that is actually the book. Anyway, number 27, Night in Terror Tower. Eddie and Sue are actually the prince and princess of London and sent to the future by a sorcerer to protect them from the evil king, who is their uncle and is also the Lord High Executioner. Yeah. And then anyway, next up, book 28. When Michael reverses the cuckoo clock to get revenge on his horrendous sister, Terror the Terrible, he ends up going back in time, going from 12-year-old to 10-year-old to toddler to baby to finally going back. But plot twist, he ends up breaking the dial, and basically every single person born in 1988 died. So basically over 3 million people died in that book. Yeah. Anyway, next book. Book 29. Monster Blood 3. Evan's babysitting his evil scientist little cousin Kermit, and the Evan accidentally eats some monster blood and grows to like 30 feet tall. And then it ends with him shrinking to action figure size. And, okay, hold on. Next book, it came from beneath the kitchen sink. The gruel is, the evil sponge is named a gruel, and it basically causes bad luck to whatever it basically the Pennywise adjacent to a sponge. Like if Pennywise was a sponge. And, yeah, okay. And it basically, what it does, it causes bad luck, and bad luck makes it stronger, and good luck and positivity weakens it, so it's basically both the strongest and weakest Goosebumps villain, which is pretty cool. And then they get stuck with a vampire potato called a Langs. And in the next book, Night of the Living Dummy 2, another family buys just Slappy this time. And he comes to life and gets defeated. And Slappy was kind of weak in this one. And then it's revealed that their old dummy, Dennis, jumped Slappy. Because Dennis is the GOAT! And the next book number 32, The Barking Ghost. A bunch of ghost dogs terrorized the fuck out of, what was his name? Mr. I don't give a shit about your name gets attacked by a bunch of dogs. Wait, never mind. His name's Cooper. Never mind. And he end up getting turned into a dog. Then a gerbil. That book was fucking garbage. I hate it. And in the next book, The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam, an evil royalty psychopathic purple gross slime monster lives underneath the camp, hypnotizing counselors and turning kids into his slaves. That one was a treat. What? I'm in the middle of recording. We'll talk to me after you're done recording. Alright, so anyway, next book. Book number 34. Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. The Lawn Gnomes are alive. And they end up nearly jumping the kids before dying. In the next book, book number 35, The Giant Praying Mantis and the Electric Eel Woman and the Grass People and Ape Face and Wolf Girl and the Mad Mangler and the Toxic Freak and Aaron and Marty were all robots. Being used to test the theme park to see if it was good. And in The Haunted Mask 2, Steve Boswell, one of Carla Deff's bullies, puts on another one of the masks, not the same one. And that one was of an old man. It makes him age, really quickly. And it ends with Steve's friend Chuck jump scaring them with another one of them masks. And in the next one, The Headless Ghost, Andrew Cray is the headless ghost boy. And so is everything else in Hill House. And in the next one, number 38, The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena is real. Actually, wait, no. The Abominable Snowman is real. He visits Pasadena. And the kids make magic snowballs. And once they hit something, it's frozen and can't be unfrozen. And they end up getting hit with the snowballs. Anyway. Hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna get it. Alright. In the next one, Mark's aunt Benna, has evil colleagues that want to kill her for the jungle magic, and the Shrunken Head kills them off. Then, when Mark is about to tell the story, the Shrunken Head asks if he should talk about the tiger part. And in number 40, Not Living Dummy 3, another family, a family that, oh my god, hold on. Hold on, it will be done. It's gotta happen once. It will be done. Anyway, this family in Night of the Living Dummy 3, a family that collects a bunch of dummies, collects Slappy, and all the dummies come to life and jump Slappy. And in the next book, Bad Hair Day, the magician Amazo is a dummy controlled by a giant talking rabbit, and the main character gets turned into a rabbit, I think. And in the next book, number 42, sorry, if I thought I said that wrong. The egg monsters are real, and the main character gets locked in the freezer with a bunch of egg monsters by a scientist named Dr. Gray, and the main character escapes, goes home, and lays an egg. Sorry there. Or my manners. Sorry. Next one, number 43. The beasts are not dangerous and just want to play a game of tag, where they nearly get eaten. And in the next one, my least favorite, Say Cheese and Die Again, the same idiots from the first book decide to take more pictures from the camera that they know is dangerous, and therefore should already know what bad things happens, make the same dumb decisions they should have learned from the first book, some fat fetish and fat shaming all in once, make in a weird combination, and it ends with his teacher, Mr. Soar, taking a picture of the whole class. And in the next book, number 45, Ghost Camp, the campers are making jokes where they self-harm themselves by stabbing themselves in the neck with a fork and stabbing themselves in the foot with tent poles because they're ghosts, to try and scare the two main characters, and the ghosts end up getting in a fight that destroys them, literally, like they disappear, and the main character's younger brother gets possessed by one of the ghosts. Secretly. That one was a treat, considering it's a camp book, and they tend to be pretty good. And, yeah. And especially after the last one. It's not a masterpiece, but still good. It's a win pile. And in number 46, we got the book How to Kill a Monster. A 10-foot tall swamp monster attacks Greta and Clark. I actually remember the name. And they end up getting trapped in the middle of the swamp, where a bunch of swamp monsters attack them. And in number 47, in The Legend of the Lost Legend, a Viking named Ivana helps them out. But then she turns on them, and they eventually see a bunch of holograms, and then they find a treasure chest with a scroll that tells them that they are lost forever. That book was weak. And in the next book, Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns, Shane and Shauna are actually shape-shifting aliens that scared them as pumpkin heads to get revenge on two bullies, and they eat people, specifically 4 people, 4 fat people. And normally that would seem as a fat fetish and fat shaming, but it was written in a way that doesn't seem all that bad. So yeah, I liked it. And in the next book, Vampire Breath. Yeah. But I scared you with that one. The Count Nightwing lives in the attic, and Vampire Breath restores vampires and gives them what they are. And Freddy and his family are actually vampires, and they discover a bottle called Werewolf Sweat, and it turns out Kira, I hope I'm saying that right, Freddy's friend, is actually a werewolf, and so is her family. Yeah. And in the next book, Calling All Creeps, it's a pretty good book, by the way. Just wanted to put that out there before I explain it. Ricky Beamer, school nerd, is bullied by a bunch of kids, and 4 of those kids are actually creeps. And when he puts an ad in the newspapers calling all creeps, and another school bully, Tasha, hacks the school paper, switching the number for his number, gets a bunch of calls by a bunch of creeps, and the creeps are actually the 4 bullies, who are purple lizard, dinosaur, slightly bird-like monsters who are aliens and try and make people eat creep cookies, and Ricky gives into it, and he ends up putting a bunch of creep cookies in chocolate chip cookies, and infects the entire school, basically becoming their leader, and he eats one himself, and yeah. It was actually a really good story arc. I loved it. I liked it. And in the next book, Beware the Snowman, the main character, I think, was named Jacqueline. Anyway, her father is an evil sorcerer who gets turned into a demonic snowman and ends up getting jumped by a bunch of other snowmen. Yeah, and in the next book, How I Learned to Fly. Was... Anyway, the main character, Jack, who is competition over some school bully, over some pretty girl, and he learns to fly, then his school bully learns to fly, and if you win the flying competition, your powers get taken away, and The bully doesn't know that, and Jack actually did know that, so he threw the flying competition and he still has his powers. So then he can really woo his girlfriend, his new girlfriend. Good ending. Actually, pretty good book. I like it. Anyway. In the next one, Chicken Chicken. In the book Chicken Chicken, it's titled book number. Okay, it's book number 53, Chicken Chicken. Vanessa the witch is obsessed with manners, and the kids get turned into humanoid chickens, slowly getting more and more chicken, like physically, not like mentally, like like this. Okay. Anyway, and when they find Vanessa the witch, they apologize and they get turned back to normal. And the little brother, not learning a thing, burps, and they get turned into humanoid pigs. Or at least, It was actually not that bad, like when I read it, so, yeah. Sorry. Anyway, in the next book, book number 54, Matt goes to sleep in the attic and gets turned into... Wait, no, not in the attic. The guest room. He gets turned into a teenager, then into a boy with completely different parents, then into a 8-year-old in a circus, then into an old man, then into a lizard monster, and then into a 14-year-old boy, and then into a squirrel, and then into a fat kid, and then back to normal, all while being chased by the reality police. And it ends with the reality police deciding to leave him the fuck alone after he gets turned back to normal. But then his mom reveals that for his birthday, his bedroom's gonna get put in the attic. I really like this one. It's literally begging to be a series. Like, we all know. Like, yeah. And in the next one, book number 55, The Blob That Ate Everyone, Zachy writes horror stories about a blob monster attacking things. Then he finds a haunted typewriter, types the story there, and then a blob monster attacks him, and once the blob gets defeated, it turns out it was all just a story within a story written by a blob monster. A blob monster. Sorry if I said bomb or blomb. Sorry. Or blah. Like sometimes my voice just says it. Anyway. In the next book, book number 56, The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. Let's see. Oh, right. The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. Well, a little shit named Sarah attempts to drown herself to gain sympathy from people that she made a bad first impression on. And she gets haunted by a ghost girl named Della. And, shit. It turns out that Della did not die by drowning. She died by a snake bite. And she attempts to get Sarah bit. But that's when her new friend steps in, stops Della, picks up the snake, and reveals herself to be also died by snake bite. And attempts to get Sarah bitten. And that's where the story ends. Pretty good book. Even though I dislike the main character. Anyway. Book number 57. My best friend got invisible. My best friend is invisible. Some kid named, I don't know, is being terrorized by an invisible boy named Brett Green. And then, I don't know's parents zap him with some seeing ray. And it turns out Brett Green's a human. And they're all aliens. And in this universe, humans are an extinct species. And in the next book, Deep Trouble 2, number 58, Dr. Ritter is a scientist that made plankton, which made a bunch of sea life grow and turned a bunch of people into fish people. And ends with Dr. Ritter getting turned into a fish. Anyway, in the next book, The Haunted School, number 59, Tommy and his new friend Ben get trapped in another dimension called the Grey World. They can't get out. They end up getting out, and Dr. Chameleon, the guy who trapped a class of 1947 in the Grey World, takes the school picture and I think traps them in the Grey World. I'm not sure, probably, but whatever. In the next book, Werewolf Skin, I think a kid named Mark, I'm not sure, is visiting his Uncle Colin and Aunt Martha, and he suspects the Marlings are werewolves. That's when, surprise, surprise, his uncle and aunt were the werewolves. And he steals their werewolf skin to try and turn them normal. They turn normal, and his friend Hannah bites him, and he turns into a werewolf. This one was actually pretty good. So is the last one. And the last one. Anyway, the next book number 61, I Live in Your Basement. Marco sustains a brain injury from a baseball bat, and a guy named Keith keeps pestering Marco, saying that he lives in his basement. Keith turns into a flesh monster, a yellow flesh monster, and a bunch of weird reality bendies and shit happens, and it turns out it was a dream concocted by Keith. This is actually pretty good. I liked it. Anyway, the final one, Monster Blood 4, they discover a new type of monster blood, a cloning blue slug kind, that multiplies, dies, and Conan the bully eats it and clones. Yeah, well there you have it, all 62 spoiled. and they won't really give you goosebumps considering they're kids books, but still pretty good. I rate the series as a whole as 7.9 out of 10. Now to stop this damn recording.